Vermil in Gold. Episode 1 Recap. The episode begins in the magical environment of the Ortigia Royal Academy of Magic, where mystery and wonder are entangled. Here we see a large number of students who have several magical abilities. Then we are introduced to Alto Goldfield, a young and talented man who finds himself in a difficult situation. He was a master of magic in every way, but the summoning exam had been an enormous challenge. The bad news was given on that important day of the week that Alto had failed the summons examination. The consequences were so terrible that he was forced to repeat the entire year and was on the verge of being held back a grade. His teacher strictly informed him that without a familiar, he couldn't be promoted to the next class. Alto carried the weight of this forthcoming tragedy, but he did not give up in the face of difficulty. So he decided to go to his childhood friend Lilia Kudelfas, hoping to get a solution to his terrible problem. When Lilia found out about Alto's situation, she was shocked, and even she could not believe that a brilliant student like him was compelled to repeat his class. And this made her struggle to understand why a student with his talent could have such an unfair fate. Alto's spirit, however, was unaffected, and he convinced Lilia that he had one last day to make a deal with a familiar, mysterious being that would accompany him on his magical trip. In search of a solution concealed beneath the pages of dusty books and ancient grimoires, Alto made his way to the Academy's library with unyielding purpose. Upon reaching there, he walked for a long time in search of such a book that would give a solution to his problem. Then after some time, a mystery book fell from its resting place while he was looking at the shelves, landing directly on his head and making him shocked. This was the grasp of fate's means of interrupting his life in a very shocking way. Alto took up the book, startled yet curious, and soon realized it was an old summoning guide. He immediately thought that it might help him, so he decided to carry out the magical spell written inside the book's pages out of a sense of destiny. He cast the summoning magic with conviction, adding a drop of his blood as a crucial part of the spell. Due to this, a magical event occurred in his room, causing a huge amount of light to spread throughout. Then he was shocked when the spell worked and a naked female demon named Vermil appeared from the spiritual dimension. As is typical, the summoner and familiar created a contract that sealed their magical relationship. Alto was kissed by Vermil in an attempt to drain his mana before he was able to fully understand the consequences of their newfound relationship. Unaffected, Alto insisted that Vermil put on some clothes and rejected Vermil's flirting at him. Alto was perplexed as to why a demon, a species renowned across history for its cruelty against humanity, would voluntarily act as his companion. Vermil revealed her reasons for obedience after her tremendous gratitude for being freed from her book-bound prison time. The next day, Alto introduced Vermil to his teacher as his brand new friend. Vermil hid both her tail and horns while posing as a human student to keep up their lie. Vermil's unusual common symbol forced the teacher, who had been first suspicious due to the absence of papers about humans having familiars, to acknowledge Vermil as a real familiar. As the days turned into weeks, Lilia's enviousness increased as she saw Alto and Vermil's close friendship develop in the classes they took. Vermil frequently sat on Alto's lap and filled him with affection. Lilia was pleased that the teacher frequently raised questions about whether such behavior was suitable. However, Vermil skillfully referenced the school's principle of living with one's familiar, effectively shutting the instructor and leaving Lilia in a state of inner sorrow. Finally, the growing tension between Lilia and Vermil came to a head. After a particularly contentious lesson, Lilia confronted Alto and let Alto know how she felt about Vermil. She boldly challenged Alto to a fight, promising that if she won, Vermil would be compelled to avoid him, but that if Alto won, Lilia would be bound to obey a single instruction of his choice. The combat took place on a massive platform in the sky, and all of the Academy's students watched the moment as it happened. Vermil was perplexed by Lilia's decision to call for her familiar, Salfeet, an elite wind spirit. Salfeet's might and Lilia's wind magic were combined to launch a powerful attack against Alto. Vermil stood in front of Alto as a selfless gesture of defense, taking the entire brunt of the assault. When all was said and done, Vermil had survived, although unarmed. Lilia was still ignorant of Vermil's hidden talent. Vermil used her magic as an act of punishment motivated by a deep connection, which left Lilia unable to continue the combat due to an intense wave of excitement after being justly awarded the winner. Alto used the newly acquired authority to issue an order requiring Lilia to make friends with Vermil. Alto was shocked to learn that Lilia was in love with Vermil after the fight, which Vermil revealed to him. With their shared history's complexity, Alto found it difficult to believe. Vermil moved in for a kiss anyhow, stating that it was necessary for her survival since she needed the mana gained from such encounters, despite how unpleasant the setting was. She made references to more effective ways to restore mana, but Alto gently rejected her, saying that only a kiss would do.